everyone and welcome to today's video. This is a slightly different video than what I would normally film for my channel. Nowhere near as upbeat as I would usually be. It is definitely a different sort of vibe. So as you may be able to tell from the title of this video, my amazing beautiful mum was diagnosed with breast cancer in October last year. I just want to throw a disclaimer out there. My mum has given me permission to film this and make this video and talk about it. She wants to do what I want to, which is just spread awareness. And from my perspective, looking online, there was nothing on YouTube that I could find about this coming from the supporting partner's perspective, because everything was just, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer and I am going through it. And while that's amazing, that's so good for people that have been diagnosed with cancer, for them to then see those videos and be like, I'm not on my own. That's amazing. But from my perspective, there was no, my mum has been diagnosed with breast cancer, or my dad or my partner or my brother or my sister or my friend. Like, there was no supportive perspective, which is what I want this video to be for someone that is looking for it like I was. So to give you guys a little bit of background, basically my mum found a lump on her breast at the beginning of October, and that's fairly normal. We've had experience with this in the past and had these sort of scares before, and in the past it's always been a worry, and then you go and they're like, oh, it's just a benign cyst, it's fine. She gets them, they come and go. So that's sort of what we were expecting. That's kind of the similar line, but this time there was something a little bit different with it. She had an indent on the side of her breast. So not only was there a lump there, there was also a slight indent, which obviously made us worry a bit more. So she had a doctor appointment, went to go and get it checked, and they said, yeah, we're going to send you for a scan just to check that it's nothing serious. She had a scan, an ultrasound, and 3 biopsies taken, which she wasn't expecting. They never told her about any of that. They just wanted her to go and do it. So she had all of that done, and then went on holiday for a week and had to wait that entire time to know what was going on. I had a weird inkling, purely because, this sounds crazy, but Pippa, our family dog, went back to them after we looked after her and went up to my mum and just like put her head like on my mum's boob and sort of nudged it. And there was something really weird about it. She's never done anything like that before, and it was the first thing I picked up, and I thought instantly, there is something wrong, because she doesn't do that. From that moment on, I was kind of preparing myself to hear the worst. So then the morning of the 27th, I went to work as normal, and they went in to go and get the results. And obviously with COVID and everything, not too many people could go, so I couldn't go with them anyway. So I went to work and said to my mum, ring me. Either way, no matter what the outcome is, ring me. So I spoke to my mum on the phone, and instantly she goes, it's not good news. Do you know what I mean by that? And instantly I knew. Straight away I knew what she meant, and I just broke basically. She didn't want to say it over the phone. She didn't want that to be the way that I actually properly found out, and she'd rather tell me in person what was going on, which is fair enough, to be honest. I'd rather that as well than just find out all this information at work. So I came back home and I moved out from their place earlier in the year. Josh was off, not feeling very well. He had a cold, and luckily he was home, because I think if I was home on my own, I'd have just spiraled and just lost my mind at that point, because I didn't really know what was going on. I came home to get changed because they were on their way back from the hospital, so they weren't even at their house yet. So I just came home to like collect my thoughts and get changed and then go over. And the second I walked in the door, I fell apart, and then I was like, right, nope, pick it back up, keep it together, your mum's sake, gotta go and find out what actually is going on and how bad it is, because instantly I was just fearing the worst. I don't know if this is just a me thing, because I always expect the worst, but the second you hear the word cancer, your brain just goes into a bit of a malfunction and you just think the worst possible outcomes that there are. Sorry if the angle's changing all the time. My camera keeps cutting in and out, which is really frustrating. Anyway, back to the point. Basically, once I'd had a bit of a breakdown to Josh, poor Josh, bless him, he has been fantastic throughout this whole thing. I then had to go and find out what was actually going on. She basically explained that she has stage 2 breast cancer. Thankfully, she went to the doctors when she did and didn't wait, didn't leave it. She went and got it checked, and they discovered that it was stage 2, which means it's there but it's treatable, hopefully. Obviously there's different things they can try. She has 3 types of treatment to go through now. She has chemotherapy, radiotherapy and an operation to try and get rid of it. So it's currently the 4th of January. We've been living in this for over 2 months now that we've known about it. In that time she has had 2 chemotherapy treatments. The first one was on the 3rd of December, which is when I put my Instagram post up and kind of revealed that this was a thing going on in our lives right now. And the second one was Christmas Eve. It has been a bit of a whirlwind since we found out, and I cannot tell you how amazing the Macmillian and NHS teams have been. Every single person that Mum has seen and dealt with has been incredible and so supportive and kind and easy to talk to. They are sitting with her and having conversations with her and talking about it all and just doing everything they possibly can to put her mind at ease for concerns that she may have going forward. And obviously they're not going to be able to do that for everything, because she didn't know how she was going to react to chemo. She didn't know what the plan was. She didn't really know what was going on, but they tried to structure it so that she knew what was happening when and where. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you all of this is because, like I said earlier, I have not found a single thing online talking about the experience from start to finish and kind of going through it all and dealing with each step as it comes, especially not from a supporting perspective. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about most and make you aware of in this video is, if you are someone going through it or someone supporting someone going through it, there are people that you can speak to, there are teams that can help. You are never alone in the process. I want to say a massive shout out to Macmillan and the NHS teams, because they have been absolutely incredible, not just for my mum but also for me. They have been there if I needed to talk to them, and they are always asking and giving options for me and my dad to speak to them, because we're obviously the closest to my mum. So if you are struggling and if you do need to talk to someone and want the support through this, then they are there to discuss it and go through any problems and stuff that you may be facing, any queries or questions that you might have, anything that you want to know about the process. You can ask them, and they may not be able to answer everything. There may be things that they cannot help you with in terms of finding a specific answer or solution. However, what they can do is support you in getting to that point. If you would like support from those teams, then I will leave those links in the description box down below so that you guys can get support as well and talk to the teams and hopefully try and somehow find your way through this. It is really difficult, I'm not going to lie to you. It is awful and definitely one of the worst pieces of news that I will ever hear in my life, because it's just changed everything. It's also made it so much harder having COVID around, because we can't see her as much and I can't go to treatments with her, and I have to be really careful. And we actually had a COVID scare over Christmas. She had her chemo Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day she was recovering and I went to Josh's auntie's and we all had a massive family dinner. And then Boxing Day we went to Josh's dad's and then to my parents in the evening to do presents and have dinner and all of that. And while we were at my parents', Josh's auntie, whose house we went to on Christmas Day, who I sat next to at the dinner table and whose food we ate that she'd made, had just tested positive for COVID. How we got away with it, I don't know. But touch wood, we didn't get any of that and we were so unbelievably lucky. So I actually did some research before I started this video, because I wanted this to be an official thing and to actually be able to help. And it's part of the reason as to why I'm making this video, because in the UK alone there is nearly 56,000 cases of breast cancer diagnosed each year, and 76% of those people survive. So again, this just reinforced reasons as to why I wanted to make this video, because one, like I said earlier, there was no supporting perspective online, and two, everything that I did find was confirming every worst fear that I had thought when I first heard cancer, because instantly my brain thought the worst and went straight to death, which is really morbid but needs to be talked about. Everything I could see online was saying I lost my mum to cancer. And while that's useful to people that have also been through that, to me that was probably the worst thing I could see, because it was all that was going through my head. And it was like an ambiguous loss at that point, because I had lost my mum in terms of the person that she was, yet she was still my mum and still with me. And yet in my head it was like this person had gone and suddenly there was a cancer patient that was my mum, and like it just messed with my head. And seeing all those videos of losing my mum to cancer was horrendous, and that's another reason. This is gonna make me cry. Oh. My camera battery's dying. Okay, I need to end this video. Basically what I'm trying to say is 76% of people survive breast cancer. There are so many different treatments and things out there now that can be tried and tested, and if one treatment doesn't work, you can try another one and move on and keep going until something helps. The statistics prove that is true in the majority of cases. So what I'm trying to say is, if that is your brain and you are like me and you immediately think the worst, please remember those numbers. Please remember that you are not alone, because 56,000 people get diagnosed with breast cancer just in the UK each year. And think about then 2 people to go with each one of those 56,000 that are supporting them. Think about how many people this is affecting then in the UK. That's a huge number of people. It's ridiculous. So let's talk about it. Let's get it out in the open. Let's share the stories, because in all honesty I need it, which is exactly why I'm doing this, in the hope that someone else like me also needs it and now can hear it from my perspective. So on that note, I'm gonna go, but I may do another one of these videos later on at some point. If you would like to get more information about it, please check out the links that I'm leaving in the description, because there will be several down there that hopefully might help you. If you have a story to share like ours, please, please, please get out there and share it, because the more we talk about this, the more awareness we're going to raise and the more people we can help. Thank you for watching. I hope this has helped even just one person. That's a bit weird to say, but please do like this video, because hopefully the more people that see it, share it and like it, the more awareness we can spread. So hopefully we can get the word out there and more people can be supported when going through this, because obviously it is a massive thing that affects a lot of people. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Do check out the links in the description and I will see you all soon. Bye!